Hi, this is Michelle from Cats and Skulls, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this adorable little snowcat using items from the Dollar Tree. First, you're going to need two Dollar Tree fish bowls, different sizes, and then you're going to need at least one sheet of automotive cloth, a felt baby blanket, and a sheet of pink felt. And then I use this little snowman kit for the arms and the eyes, but you can just cut those items out of felt as well. Yeah, so I use the arms. I use the white part of the snowman for the ears, and then I use the little circular eyes. I took some paint and I just painted a little light reflection into each eye. So starting with the fishbowl, you're going to need at least one automotive cloth. I would get a second one just to have enough fabric. I was able to get one to cover both, but on the second one, I did have to kind of patch it up in the back. I didn't have quite enough to make it fully around. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take your hot glue and put it around the edges and then just fold the fabric over and then cut off the excess. And it's just kind of a pulling and shifting everything into the right place and trying to get as few wrinkles in it as possible. Here you'll see where I made a mistake in the back and I had a hole, so I covered it up, and then that was the back of my kitty cat's head, so you can't see it. So this is what it looks like once it's fully covered with the cloth, and then there's both of my pieces of my little snowcat. And then we're simply just going to take the hot glue and glue one on top of the other. You can see, just took the hot glue, went all the way around, and then just put it on top. I did want to mention, I did get this idea from Olivia's Romantic Home. Olivia made a beautiful snow lady a couple years ago in one of her tutorial videos, and I thought, hey, maybe I could do that with a cat. And I did, and it came out really cute. I was really excited to show this one. And then I cut a strip of the baby blanket, just basically 1 heart wide, and I tied it around to make a little scarf. And then I just tied it in a knot and I glued it down to secure it. And then I just measured out how long I wanted it to be, but I cut it a little bit longer because I was going to make a fringe at the bottom to make it look more like a scarf. And here I am cutting slits into the fabric. I cut 6 different slits so I could tie 3 little knots in it, kind of like if you're making like a felt blanket. You just tie the no-sew ones that you just tie in knots. So kind of pretty much did that just to make it look like the end of a scarf. And I ended up double knotting everything. Right, and after I did one of the little scarf ends, I went back and just did the other one real quick. So I had 3 little fringy edges on each part of the scarf. And then I just glued down the edge a little bit just so to keep it in place. All right, so there she is with the little scarf. All right, and then for the eyes, so I just took the back of a paintbrush, dipped it in white, and then just made little like reflections in the eyes, give it a little bit more life to her. And then I just hot glued those on. Kind of figured out the perfect placement I wanted, because I wanted cute, so low on the face, a little further apart. And then I cut the ears out of the snowman part, but you can just use white felt. I just cut triangles out and I just freehanded a triangle and then just kind of cut around that so I would have 2 ears of the matching sizes. And then what I did the same thing with the pink felt and just put the pink felt on the white felt, and then I cut a little curve onto the bottom edge to get the ear to stick better to the kitty's head. And I had to hold it for a second just so the glue would stay. And then I just went back and did the other side. And there she is with both of her little ears glued on. She's starting to come together and looking so adorable. And then the next step was to do the glue the arms on. So I used the arms from the snowman kit, but you could just cut that out of brown felt. The original arms were way too long, so I just cut them down to the size I wanted. And I noticed when I was trying to put the arm on, I kind of had the scarf a little too far over to the side. Since it was glued down, it was a little too late to move it, so I just kind of glued the arm underneath the scarf. And then I went to put the other arm on, and yeah, I just put that under the scarf, and then you'll see, I glued it to the scarf a little bit. She's almost done. So next up is her whiskers. So I took the remaining, her nose first. So I used the remaining pieces of the branch to do the nose and the whiskers. I just cut a little triangle out of the brown part and turned it upside down, and that was her nose. Sorry if you heard my cat. There's her little nose. I was just trying to get the tiniest bit of glue on there so it wouldn't seep out the sides. So there she is with her little nose. And then it was time for the whiskers. So I took one of those branches, cut it to the length that I wanted the whiskers to be, and then I just cut some very thin strips, 2 for each side. I did cut 3, but I thought that was just too much, so I just stuck with 2. And then I just kind of positioned them where I wanted them, make sure, get an idea of how it would look. And then I just glued them into place with the glue gun. And that's actually a piece to a Dollar Tree Christmas tree stand. I find that little tiny edge very useful for positioning tiny things with hot glue so I don't burn myself. I use that, and I also use a spatula, depending on what I'm working with. And there she is. She's almost done. I was getting pretty excited as I was making this. She was so cute coming together. So basically what I did, my camera died on me, so this is going to cut off in a minute, but basically what I did was I cut out some fabric from the little baby blanket to make the bow. I just did a very simple bow. I folded it over in thirds, and then made this little strip that went around the middle, and I just folded both in thirds. So yeah, just a very simple little bow. Pinched it in the middle, and then I glued that little piece around it. And yeah, my camera's about to cut off, but I just used hot glue to secure it. And then I glued it onto her right ear. And that was the little bow. And yeah, there my camera died. This is what she looked like when she was all done. Super cute. I used her in my Valentine's Day decor, and my kids have already claimed her for their room when I'm done showing her off. So yeah, this is my little Snowcat. Thank you so much for watching.